Hands up. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome into practice today, presented by SiriusXM. Eric Allen and Olivia Landis coming to you live as the New York Jets hit the practice field as they prepare for their road game against the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend. And today's top storylines, we'll be discussing Sam Darnold and the team's struggle against the Patriots. We'll be reviewing some key players that could be returning and other injury news. And of course, we'll be heading and previewing into the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then later on in the show, we'll hear from team reporter Ethan Greenberg. Eric, the Patriots delivered 323 yards of offense against the Jets on Monday night, shut them out 33-0. How important is it for this team to turn the page now?
You have to. The National Football League, it's all about week to week. In essence, you have 16 one-game seasons. And in fact, Olivia, I think that it's good for the Jets to have a short week because they were dominated in all three phases against the Patriots. Everybody has been clear about it here at One Jets Drive. Jamal Adams said after the game that we were embarrassed by our performance. Adam Gase, the Jets head coach, said we were brutal. And they were outplayed in all three phases. But with that being said, it is Wednesday, and you have a game on deck here in 4 days against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think this is a great time for this team to have a short week because you got to flush that out of your system, what happened against the Patriots, learn from your mistakes, and put in that game plan and implement it out there on the field throughout practice this week. We're watching Jamal Adams right now stretch with his teammates. But that's one thing that Adam Gase has said is that this team has been practicing well, but it has not been translating out onto the field on game day. Teams got to continue to practice well, and then they got to play better, obviously, under the lights, like Monday night or during an afternoon game. It doesn't matter when they're playing. You got to take that, what you learn throughout the week on the practice field, and then actually execute on Sunday.
When you look at quarterback Sam Darnold in Week 6 versus Week 7, it's really night and day. Against the Cowboys, Sam Darnold completed 23 of 32 passes for 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And then against the Patriots, he completed just 11 passes of 32 attempts and 4 interceptions. So how can this young quarterback learn from that performance?
Well, you had a career high 5 turnovers in all, and you're not going to win in the National Football League when you turn it over 5 times. It was just tough from the get-go. He had an interception on his first throw against the Patriots, and the Jets found themselves down 10-0. The team also, this is on the entire offense, is that they had trouble handling the Patriots blitz packages, and we saw a lot of cover zero, man-to-man, and they kept on coming at Darnold, and at times he was gotten into the bad habits of throwing off his back foot, not being set. But again, this was a blip on the radar. Everybody was anointing him as the next Hall of Fame quarterback after he played great against the Dallas Cowboys. Now a lot of people are questioning where Darnold is going to be because he's struggling against the Patriots. Oh, by the way, a lot of young quarterbacks have struggled against Bill Belichick over the years, and this Patriots defense is humming right now. I think it's just imperative for Darnold to come back this week and have a good outing against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
As you said, it doesn't all lie on quarterback Sam Darnold. As the team now dropped to 1-5 on the season, they are definitely experiencing some growing pains. How much does a lack in consistency play a role in that?
Well, it's huge because you got a new coaching staff, you have new systems, you've been dealing with a ton of injuries at key positions throughout the year. You're trying to establish this identity and who you are. Now, you got your quarterback back offensively, and Sam Darnold had an awfully big high and then the lowest of lows. You want him to be consistent in the offensive unit to develop consistency, but you're also dealing with injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Most notably, C.J. Mosley came back against the New England Patriots after suffering that groin injury in Week 1 against the Buffalo Bills, but he's not out there on the practice field today as we see the Jets huddling up.
Earlier this week, today, Adam Gase spoke to the media, and he talked about the importance of looking ahead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's hear what he had to say now.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we got to reset. We got to move on to Jacksonville fast. Like, we got to correct the problems that we had in that last game, and that's one of those things that is going to be addressed every day, whether you win or lose. Like, there's mistakes every game. You cover them up when you win. There's less pain when you correct. For us, it's going to be about being on the details this week, getting ready for what Jacksonville does, making sure that we do a good job getting that front covered up, especially offensively, and then defensively, really fine-tuning alignment, assignment, playing fast, just making sure we're doing the right things.
As head coach Adam Gase said, it's important to now look ahead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And when you look at that Patriots game on Monday night, Le'Veon Bell was actually a bit of a highlight. He averaged 4.7 yards per carry, had a season high in rushing of 70 yards. And when you look at this Jacksonville Jaguars defense, they're currently ranked 21st in the league against the run. How can Bell take advantage of this Jacksonville Jaguars defense?
Well, not only that, but the Jacksonville's ranked 20th yards per carry, giving up 4.8 yards per rush. Le'Veon Bell was the offensive highlight for the Jets on Monday night, and he's been great throughout his first 6 games with the New York Jets. But you want to have that balance offensively. We saw Darnold get the passing game going against the Cowboys. The passing game wasn't there against the Patriots, but you're right. Le'Veon Bell rushed the football very well, and he can not only help this team in terms of rushing the football, but also lining up as a receiver at times, catching the ball out of the backfield, and also being that outlet for Sam Darnold. I think he's going to have a great opportunity this weekend to have a breakout game. We have not seen Le'Veon Bell get triple digits yet with the Jets. This might be that chance here against Jacksonville.
Let's head down to team reporter Ethan Greenberg, who has an update on the status of linebacker C.J. Mosley. Ethan?
Thanks, Liv. The Jets got C.J. Mosley back in the starting lineup for the first time since Week 1, but his status moving forward remains uncertain. Adam Gase telling reporters before practice that C.J. Mosley will not practice today and that the Jets medical staff is going to do a deeper dive into the groin injury that held Mosley out for 4 games this season. Now, that's rather unsettling news if you're a Jets fan. Adam Gase also added that he never quite looked like himself Monday night, talking about C.J. Mosley. And like I said earlier, it's unsettling if you're a Jets fan, not only because of who C.J. Mosley is and what he brings to this defense as a 4-time Pro Bowler and one of 6 team captains, but because, simply put, this is a thin group right now. Neville Hewitt will practice today after missing last game, but he's not a guarantee to play Sunday against the Jaguars, only limited today. And Albert McClellan, the veteran of the bunch, but mainly a special teams player, is still in concussion protocol. So we'll have to monitor the situation of not only Mosley, but the entire linebacking group moving forward as the Jets prepare to take on the Jags in Florida. And this weekend, no matter who lines up at the middle linebacker spot, the Jets are going to have a tough task. The Jaguars have the number 5 overall rushing attack, averaging 140 yards a game. They have a top 5 pick from a couple years ago, that, of course, being Leonard Fournette, who's second in the league with 715 yards and averaging 5 yards per carry. So, like I said, tough task this weekend, no matter who plays at the middle linebacker spot. But that's something that we'll have to monitor throughout the week. And Liv, back to you.
Thanks, Ethan. Jets fans, Costello's Ace Hardware is giving you the opportunity to win a VIP game day experience for 2 at the Jets vs. Dolphins game on December 8th and the chance to win $100,000 home makeover if the Jets return a kickoff for a touchdown. For your chance to win, just text the word JETS to 88474 or visit nyjets.com/100K home makeover. This sweepstakes is supported by Bullfrog Spas, DAP Caulking and Foams, the Long Island Green Team, Jonathan Green, and Milwaukee Power Tools. All right, so moving on.
That $100,000 makeover sounds good to me.
It does. It does sound good. I know that the Jets actually did that a couple of years ago, a fan cave makeover with Berkeley College. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the fans getting involved that way.
Triple digits. Anybody who owns a house will take those triple digits. So I would get involved in that.
I can't relate. No, I rent currently. So looking ahead to the Jets' offensive weapons, we talked about some players that could be returning. One very important name in that mix is tight end Chris Herndon, who made a splash in his rookie season. As we look at this stat sheet right now, he had 39 receptions for 502 yards and 4 touchdowns. How can he make an impact on this offense?
Well, we got to take it step by step because Adam Gase wants to see how he comes through practice. He's out there in the field right now. He's going to be limited today. So we'll have to see later on in the week, Thursday and Friday, how he made it through today's session. But with that being said, he definitely can help the offense because he was second in all those categories that you just read off there, Liv, in terms of receptions last year, receiving yards, and also touchdowns. And he was a security blanket for Sam Darnold. Both those guys part of the same rookie class, had a good connection, and he's another threat over the middle. And he is also a tight end who can do everything. He can block, obviously catch the short intermediate balls, but he's one of those tight ends who can get down the field and help you vertically as well. So that would be big, I think, for Darnold whenever Chris Herndon gets back out there on game day. But he's out there on the practice field right now going through individual drills, and that is a positive sign for the green and white on the injury front.
We'll see how Chris Herndon progresses throughout the rest of the week. Again, head coach Adam Gase did mention how he is trending upwards, but looking at the remaining injuries, the names on that list, so a few names that stand out immediately. Quarterback Sam Darnold was limited to individuals today after he had his toenail removed following the Patriots game. C.J. Mosley, we already talked about him. He will be out. And then Chris Herndon, Henry Anderson, Neville Hewitt, they will all be limited. But there's more on that list.
Yeah, you know, and we're taking a look. Kelvin Beachum didn't play Monday night against New England. He was dealing with the ankle sprain, so maybe the Jets' offensive line continues to look the same with Chuma Edoga at left tackle and Brandon Shell at right tackle. Neville Hewitt, you just mentioned him. There he is, number 46. He's back out on the practice field. Going to be limited today with the stinger and neck, but Mosley's absence means the quicker Neville Hewitt can get on the field, the better, because you don't want to go in a situation where you have both Mosley and Neville Hewitt out of the lineup against Jacksonville and their bruising running back, Leonard Fournette. You mentioned Henry Anderson trying to come back from a shoulder injury. He'll be limited as well. And a couple guys who won't practice today as we watch the linebackers go through their reps. Ryan Khalil, who didn't finish the game against the Patriots and was replaced in the lineup by Jonathan Harrison at the center position. He's dealing with an elbow and shoulder. And Trenton Cannon, the team's kickoff returner, didn't play against the Patriots, still out with the foot. He was getting an MRI.
Switching gears and looking ahead to the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, the Jets defense is currently ranked second in the league in rushing yards per play, allowing just 3.25 yards. But they have a challenge this week in Jacksonville's running back, Leonard Fournette. He is the focal point of this offense and is averaging 5 yards per carry. How do they stop a weapon like him?
Well, listen, you look at what the Jets have done so far defensively throughout their 1-5 start, is they've been awfully good against the rush, and the numbers indicate that. But Leonard Fournette is playing awfully well, second in the National Football League in terms of rushing, and then at 5 yards per carry stands out. But he is the focal point of the Jacksonville Jaguar offense. The Jets want to contain him and put the ball in the hands of the rookie Gardner Minshew on Sunday. But Brandon Copeland, we were watching him before, now we're taking a look at it. There's Cope right now. We talked to him about Fournette on Inside the Jets earlier this week, and I know he's very much so looking forward to this matchup.
Let's actually hear what Brandon Copeland had to say on the running back Leonard Fournette on Inside the Jets.
It's going to be one of those games where you're gonna make sure your chin strap's buckled.
Oh yeah,
you're ready to go. You're gonna make sure you're staying low all week and keeping the right leverage. And when you do get a chance to tackle, you better bring your pads and run your feet, because if Fournette gets a chance to take your face off, he will. Right. I'm very much looking forward to it. But again, by stopping the run, we need to be able to put offenses in those third and long situations, and then that's when we really need to attack.
Linebacker Brandon Copeland speaking on just how critical of a player Leonard Fournette is for the Jaguars and how they need to stop him as a runner. The Jets are heading to Jacksonville. It will be their third game of the season, and it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit sunny weather. I think it's going to be 80 degrees and warm out there, I believe.
Yeah, high humidity, but here, when we take a look at the schedule, there are the Jets' final 10 games, final 10 regular season games of 2019. Now, a lot of these teams, let's be fair, a lot of these teams are going to look at the Jets and say, this is a game we have to win, because the Jets so far early in the season, definitely struggling out of the gate. But conversely, if you're looking at it from a Jets fan perspective, Jacksonville's 3-4. Miami is winless. You play them a couple times here during the stretch run. Washington is winless. Washington has one win, that was against the Miami Dolphins. Cincinnati is winless. So we just took a real brief look there at the schedule as we transition back to the quarterbacks. But Sam Darnold's going to have an opportunity against some defenses who do not have the rankings or the personnel that the Patriots do. And there's one of the men of the hour for the Jets, of course. That's Jets GM Joe Douglas.
Yeah, taking a look here at Joe Douglas brings up a good point. The trade deadline, the NFL trade deadline, is quickly approaching, and Adam Gase did say earlier in the week that he knows Douglas is going to take a good hard look and do what is best for the team.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Listen, Joe Douglas came on board in June, and he's going to build this thing over time. And I'm sure he'll be taking some calls, probably placing some calls before the trade deadline. And he'll be not only looking at the Jets in terms of, let's try to win this game on Sunday, but you also have to look in terms of foundational pieces, also the future, and how you can help yourself in the long run. Remember, this guy knows a thing or two about building championship programs. 3 Super Bowl rings in all, Joe Douglas has, and he's just getting started here. Came on board in June. The Jets have played just 6 games this season. There's still 10 games to go. But I would imagine before the trade deadline, he'll be busy. Now, if we'll have to see if anything is completed or consummated, but Joe will be talking to teams.
As the team quickly approaches already the middle of the season, which is kind of crazy to think about that we're already almost halfway through the season, what are going to be some of your final keys in the Jets finding success on the road against the Jaguars this Sunday?
Well, I think they got to come out. We say this every week, so people are going to get tired of hearing it, but New England came out and held the ball for 9 minutes. And then the second offensive play after the Patriots scored a touchdown was an interception, so you found yourself in a 10-0 hole. You can't have that, especially on the road. They're going to have to come out, try to establish some kind of rhythm offensively. And they got to get off the field, Liv. What happened against New England defensively was they put themselves in good position a couple times on the opening drive, and they just could not get off the field on 3rd down. And then there was 1 4th down where the Patriots converted as well. So for the Jets, you just want to see them get some first downs offensively. Conversely, on the other side of the ball, get off the field on third down and make the rookie quarterback beat you. And how do you make the rookie quarterback beat you? You take care of Leonard Fournette, because Jacksonville is going to try to establish a smash mouth approach against you on Sunday.
The New York Jets take on the Jaguars in Jacksonville this Sunday for their third road game of the season. We'll have more updates for you throughout the rest of the week at NewYorkJets.com. For Eric Allen, I'm Olivia Landis.